We went up for Salon of the Year maybe 4 years in a row, and we never won it. And I remember the last year I'd only just had my son, and 6 weeks later I was appearing at the awards. And as I say, that was our last year. We didn't win it, but I didn't go away from that feeling like I hadn't achieved and I hadn't done what I wanted to do. I actually went away with that and with a sense of I didn't quite take it off, but we won other awards. And I know myself that my business is good. So I don't actually need to have someone else kind of go, you are amazing, you are the best. It's not to take any of that away. I think it's all so important. But for me, I just came away from that feeling that regardless of whether I'd won an award or not, it doesn't matter because what I've achieved, I'm happy with.
The biggest one's probably you're doing it for yourself. You're trying to prove something.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way, in a way like I've built this, I think it's incredible. I'm going to put myself out there and, hope for the best because I love it so much and I've put all my hard work and effort into it. And I think that's the original thing that you go in and all the rest is just the perks.
Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Beauty Industry Leaders podcast. I'm your host, Sammy Kennedy. Today I'm joined by 2 of the founders from the Western Australian Skin, Spa, Beauty and Aesthetics Awards.
Yeah.
Did I nail it?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You did it.
Today I've got Rachel Diaz from Love Beauty. No! Never! Love Beauty! Love Beauty Skin Club.
Oh, you so
I swear, every time I see you, it's just like, I know the logo, but in my head, I just love skin.
LB. I know, it would be good to take the beauty out, but I think we've established...
I know you were skin, not beauty, though.
know.
Surely I'm not the only one.
The
If you're
love-
watching this,
The love
seriously.
of all things beauty. Beauty is skin. Beauty is everything. So it's Love Beauty Skin Clinic. It's a strong brand, so I don't think I'd take the beauty part out.
Well, anyways, there's Rachel. We've had her on before. She's amazing. She loves skin and beauty. And we've got a brand new face who I'm very excited to have sitting here with us. This is Elke Richter. She's the founder of Skin Inspired. She's had so many years of experience. Well, both of you have. And then also we haven't got Laura with us here today because she's in Vietnam living her best life, but she'll be coming on later. As founders of the brand new Skin and Beauty Awards in Western Australia, how are you feeling bringing this to WA? We obviously haven't had anything like this. We usually have to travel away to Sydney, and with that comes costs and additional pressure. Rach, what are your thoughts about the whole vision?
I think it's very exciting. We've been putting a lot of work and time and energy into it. It's really special to be a part of something with Elke and Laura. They're incredible women, and we all have a history of attending awards, and we love it. And it's just been really exciting and special.
Elke, I know that you have such a passion for telling the founder's story. If you could just give us insight of how did this all come together? What was your initial thoughts? How did you find the right team and bring it all together?
Yeah, sure. It was interesting. I remember being at some national awards last year, and I was sitting next to Rachel, and I sort of said to her, I was like, Rach, there's very few West Australians that are entering these awards and only a couple that were nominated as finalists. So I jokingly looked at her and I said, hey, we have to do this in WA. So effectively it really sort of started from there, I guess. But yeah, we just wanted to create something that was, again, a chance for West Australian beauty industry to be recognised. Really exciting to be involved in it. And of course, then we knew Laura, and I think that, again, from different walks of life, it was just a great opportunity for us to get together and do something, even though we're ridiculously busy as it is.
Yes.
And mums and, juggling 1,000 balls as so many business women are. But yeah, great to get involved in it.
So for the people who don't know you, can you give me a little run through of who you are, what your role is in WASSABA, and also who you are outside of your business?
Okay, so I'm Rachel. My role in WASSABA is industry relations. So I deal with the socials, with outreach, with the social media, posting and advertising as well. But then I also helped to set up the award platform as well. I built that out, and me and Elke worked on that. That was a big process.
I know that's been a 3-month process.
It's been a process. But now that it's all complete and it's open and people are applying, and there's been about 50 I think applications already in the first 2 weeks. So it's been really incredible to see, and I'm very proud to be a part of that beginning.
Quick question, what's the most popular award category that everyone's applying for right now?
I think it was the skin therapist.
Skin and then sole trader was
Yeah.
actually a really big one too.
Yeah, very, very
So,
popular.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in beauty are sole traders. Like there's not as many that make it past a team of 5, let alone 10 or 20. So it doesn't surprise me.
Yes.
We've got some incredible sole traders in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
excited.
But it's been great because there's actually across the board, every category has been entered already,
Yeah,
which,
is
brilliant.
fantastic.
That's epic.
Yeah, and we've had some people from other states reach out wondering if they could be a part of it. So that might be something to look into one day.
Never know.
Yeah. So it's been received really well.
Elke, what is your role within WASSABA?
So I'm operations, so I get to do the fun bit with lots of emails and looking after the sponsorship side of things, which I actually really enjoy. I've got a lot of good contacts out there. Obviously, I've been in distribution myself for a long time, so it's nice to sort of be able to reach out, speak to people on that front. And then I, obviously with the awards, I'm really that support person sort of in the middle that assists with sort of every angle of the business. So that's great.
Yeah.
And then how does Laura come into things? Because I know that she's got some incredible things going for her. She's got Lush Skin and Beauty, Lush Skin and Body, Beauty.
Body, I think. I think it's body. Lush Skin and Body.
You know what? If I see the Instagram logos or the handles, I
you
know.
see
But like,
the
trying to,
Nadine.
like,
Very well
recall
try to
everything,
remember
I'm
it all.
like, she's just Laura. And then she's also got her networking group, which I'm not even going to butcher the name of because my brain is just not working this morning.
I think it's the Beauty Aesthetic Network. Is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T-Ban.
And so what is she doing within WASSABA?
She, again, because she's fantastic at events, so she's doing a lot of the organisation for the events. I feel like we all had a part in the sunsets, but she's really taken on the June event that's coming up. So she pretty much organises all that side and the speakers and everything.
And I get to come in with the budget bit at the end and say, this is the budget. You need to make sure that everybody's in control of the budget and not overspending.
Yeah. But do you know what? We all kind of help each other. So like she'll help me a little bit, Elke will help me a little bit and vice versa.
Yeah.
We all get involved because we are all busy. So yeah, it's really great to have each other's support.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of back when I was running the beauty pageant a few years ago because it was like a group of A players. You come together and you just are so booked out with your own life, but then you're doing this essentially for free because it's the early days and you've got to try get sponsors on board.
Yeah.
You've got to try manage all your contestants, which in your thing would be your applicants. Like it's
Yes.
just the same kind of business model. How are you guys handling all the pressure at the moment? Like, is it a lot to try juggle with your business or are you feeling like, okay, we're getting through this all right?
I think the first year is definitely, as you say, obviously probably the hardest. Trying to pull the awards together, submission side of things. There's a lot in the way of criteria that obviously Rachel's and we put together.
Yeah.
So I think from that perspective, it's probably been fairly epic, let's just say.
Yeah.
But I think, again, the fact that we've got each other, we're supporting each other. We're also getting feedback as well as we go from clients and, along the way, which is great. So that obviously gives us that little bit of an opportunity then to see from what happens this year to then where we go next year. But definitely year one is the trickiest.
Because you're building out all the systems. You've got the foundation. And then once you've got all your award categories set up, you're not going to have to stay up until midnight trying to.
I know. Now I can rest and I feel good about it. And seeing it like live is fantastic as well. And seeing people enter, seeing so many people enter something that we created is unbelievable. It's so exciting. But I think that we've also got really good teams, all three of us. We have managers that are kind of running the show behind the scenes. And we're just juggling everything with kids and business and WASSABA, but we're making it work.
Yeah.
So what's the common goal of WASSABA? Like, what are you setting out to achieve within the industry that hasn't already been done?
So I guess effectively we're trying to create a networking opportunity for industry, and then also obviously with the awards a chance to give them the opportunity to be recognised and celebrated, I suppose. So
You've done it successfully. I saw the Sunset Sessions event. Like, I was so sick and I just honestly deep down could not be bothered going. And I'm like, nah, I'm heading here. And it was worth it. You guys brought a great crew together. There were some great insights from the speakers and it attracted a really high caliber level of business owner. And I think seeing other industry events and the type of people that go, like the branding, the people behind it, the sponsors you guys have got on board. That is a testament to what you've built.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been received really well so far. And it's just so you never really know when you start something new. You sort of think, oh, how's this going to go? But it's just, I don't know, we've had such a great response. It's been really quite humbling, actually. So, yeah.
It took off and we had to find the biggest space to be able to allow enough people to attend so that people didn't miss out. So that was a great surprise because you never know how things will be received when you put them out. But for the first event, it did really, really well.
Yeah.
What was the feedback that you received after?
No bad feedback. It was all very positive that we should do more and that people that didn't attend felt like they had FOMO and that they want to come to the next event. So it was good. Maybe the mics when we were on stage, I think you couldn't hear some.
Oh yeah,
from
there
back.
was like some footy game or something going on.
Yeah,
It was like kind of split between the two.
Yeah.
But I think again, you know, like we are in Western Australia, obviously everybody has always been that feeling as though, oh, we're in another country over here.
Yes.
You know, we're so far away from everything. So to go and be involved in education events or awards over in Sydney or Melbourne or interstate, it can get fairly costly for us from here to go across there. So I think to be able to set something up here like that and just even for those networking events, it was such a huge thing. That's why there were so many people that jumped on board with us so quickly because I think going back, you know, 10 or 15 years ago, there was that real perception that it was like closed book, there's so much competition, I can't talk to you, I can't talk to you. But I think now people are really, you know, conscious of having an opportunity to be able to talk together, to share their feelings, how's it working for you, what's happening, are you feeling the same way? So I think just that, even that little bit in itself is huge.
100%. Like even with the podcast and the guests that come on and then the DMs that people receive, it's like opening up this conversation where I feel that for so long people have been scared to put themselves out there. Maybe they had a bad previous boss or maybe they became friends with someone in the industry who then kind of turned their back. And I think now more than ever, our industry has to come together because the race to the bottom with pricing, like staffing issues, like less people choosing a career in it. Like we need to all cultivate that positive workplace, a great business model and make sure that everyone feels rewarded in doing it because it is damn hard work. The amount of burnout, the amount of stopping and starting, like trying to juggle family life and then also business. For you guys, when you were wanting to give those opportunities to your team to go across to somewhere like Sydney for the ABIA, what kind of budget are you looking at realistically to make that happen? Just to put it in perspective.
Rach, you probably know more.
Depending on how many people you take, I would say, I actually spoke to Jessie about this, 20 to 30K. Because you're paying for their accommodation, you're paying for their food, especially if you're going out to dinners together, you're paying for their tickets, which are quite pricey.
And do you feel like there's a bit of pressure as well to go there to almost like stay relevant or not get that FOMO? Because I felt that way. And I'm not even in as deep as you with all the clinics and the teams and the awards. Like I was just going because I was like, oh, maybe I'll find some cool podcast guests. But it is a big pressure. And I talk to so many women and they're like, oh, but if I don't go this year because like I can't afford it, I'm not going to look good, or I don't get to see the latest, greatest things. And I'm like, it doesn't change too much year to year.
I think that it's definitely, if I were to not go, there's a big FOMO. I think that I don't feel like I need to go, but I want to go. Seeing everyone come together and everyone from all of the different states fly into Sydney, all of the different businesses, it has this like powerful feeling like you want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's exciting and definitely I have missed the events before and I do feel like I'm missing out and upset.
But as you say, for some, it's just not always justifiable.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're incredible businesses too.
And that's, I think, where really ultimately a lot of this came from is that there's so many amazing businesses just here in Western Australia and they just can't always get across to something like that, or maybe, you know, logistics of it just too much. So having something here that can give them that chance.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, again, it's just been received so well is that they're all excited and dying to do it. But on a West Australian stage is just that little bit easier at this point in time, you know?
I'm really curious with the applications and the messages you've received so far, are a lot of them in Perth or are you also getting people who are a little bit more regional out, maybe Bunbury, Margaret River, Albany or up near Jurien Bay? Like, because WA is massive when you think about it. It's like almost half of Australia.
Huge. It is quite big. We've had a bit of both. We have a lot based in Perth.
Yeah.
But I've been looking and keeping track on the WASSABA page, and we get a lot of DMs. And we do have someone, Geraldton, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So we are getting rural people. And I think once we talk about it more, especially on our socials, more will come out as well and want to be involved.
It's that ripple effect. Like everyone is scared to go first.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when they see the first one, they get the FOMO and they're like, I need to go. And that's going to just keep working for you guys.
Yeah.
With WASSABA as an awards, like what is your point of difference? What do you want to be known for in terms of the gaps that you're solving within the industry? Because there's different awards out there and there are some rigged ones. There are some really incredible ones led with integrity. And I'm not just talking about beauty. I'm just talking about general, like,
Awards.
what do you want to be known for as an awards?
Transparency and fairness.
Yes. Yeah. An opportunity for them to feel as though they're a part of something that's non-biased. We've obviously working on our judging process at the moment and who our judges will be, but 90% of them are going to be industry experts from here, from interstate, but don't actually own a business as such or beauty business. And I think that's something that's quite important to make sure that there's a fair way that the winners are chosen.
Yeah. And we just want to make sure it's as fair as possible. And even like with myself and Laura, we're not able to enter the categories because that's a conflict of interest.
Why the hell would you?
I know. But we would. Well, we'd love
like
to.
you have to spell it out.
We'd love to. They might think that we would. I would say a lot of people would think that we'd enter our own businesses. But that's not something that we'll be doing because it's a little bit too close for home.
And you guys aren't involved in the judging process either.
No.
Which I think is a huge thing to highlight because there are so many different awards and people and it's so easy to go, oh, well, they knew that person and they got that. Like, I know people don't want to say it out loud, but I know they're always thinking it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And you guys are essentially like event organisers.
It is small at the end of the day. So people can have that element, but that was a big thing of when we came together. I was very clear on that. None of us can enter. And
none of you are judging.
None of us are judging. No.
We're not.
No.
It's completely we're
So you guys are like glorified event organisers now.
yes, pretty much.
It's a little bit like that.
We set it all up though. We set up the criteria.
Yeah.
But we're just not the ones that are judging. So we're in the background. We've set up everything.
And I think a couple of the things that Rach has done too in the actual categories and the awards side of things is that she's given little hints and tips for people too, which is not something that we're necessarily aware of from some of the other awards that are out there. So I guess, we want to give everyone an opportunity to be involved, whether they are a sole trader, whether they are a rising star potentially and someone that's really new into beauty. So the first, 0 to sort of 2 years of being involved, I think that's important for them to have their own little category because how do they go up against someone that's essentially been in business for 20 odd years,
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to create some categories that I guess open up and the opportunities for everyone across the beauty industry.
And we've also added different categories for people that aren't normally involved, like cosmetic tattooists, sculpting, body sculpting clinics, makeup artists, and spray tanning as well. We just wanted to give them a chance to kind of be seen and noticed and to step up.
Which is your favourite category that you guys are like?
Skin. Probably skin, either the skin dermal therapist of the year or skin clinic of the year. But I also really like the impact leader.
I'd have to say that's probably one for me too. I think impact is a huge one and that could mean anything. Anything and everything.
Is it TikTok dances?
No.
Maybe not that. Maybe.
Then again,
Maybe. We're inclusive.
whatever works.
I mean, we cold DMs to someone saying, hey, I'd noticed you've got some good content, but you could really improve it if you did.
We have asked them to showcase.
Yes, their work. That might be their work. But no.
I think even too, as I said, made the comment of the rising star. I think there's so many young girls now, obviously, that are coming into the industry, and it is a little bit challenging to get in.
Oh, they all want 2 years experience. Where are you meant to get that experience?
Exactly. But I think getting in there and growing and learning and have those and really taking things on board, this is a great opportunity to showcase them as well and their abilities.
Yeah.
Because it does start there.
So do you nominate yourself or can other people nominate you? Like, how does that work?
Other people can nominate you, so they would put you forward to apply for a certain award, essentially. So you can be nominated several times by different people. You could nominate yourself and just put yourself forward and apply. But it also isn't just like when you think impact leader, it's a contributor. So it could be someone that has created like a course in the industry. It could be a mentor or a coach in the industry. It's very broad.
So is there a difference between someone getting nominated and then they apply versus them just self-nominating?
It's the same, but it's for people that might not feel confident, but someone else sees that in them.
Yeah, the ability.
So I could go, hey, I really love this young girl. She's come into the industry. I would love to nominate her for Rising Star. And so she would get an email and then be able to fill out the application for it, essentially.
Yeah. And that was very important for us because we know, like how we were saying, people are scared to come forward, especially in the first year. But then when someone else believes in them and backs them, that can sometimes give them the courage to go in and to step into their power. And we've talked to people before. We actually had a lunch with a lovely lady and she said that she nominated someone and that gave her the confidence to enter and she actually won. So,
incredible.
and she wasn't going to enter. So we thought that that's something that's quite special that we wanted to include.
That's really cool. I recently had an awards that I got nominated for and it was almost like that imposter syndrome. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to put myself forward and say all these things. But if someone does write you that letter of recommendation or something, it kind of makes you go, oh, okay, let's do this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
With WASSABA, how are you guys ensuring you have a integrity-led and fair judging process?
We have a panel of different professionals across the industry that don't have, like we said before, current businesses. So they've got that background, that knowledge to be able to fairly judge. And again, because it is more anonymous, they're not seeing the actual clinics. They're going off of the information in the application. So it's very fair and it's based off of the hints and what they're providing in their award applications.
So do you redact their business name from those?
Yes, yeah, for them. We can see it on our end, but we're not judging, but they won't be able to see that. And then that way it's all based on their business health and their team and how they run their business, or if they're an individual, it's all based on what that looks like as well.
So as a business, are you mentioning names of your employees and things like that, or are you just kind of keeping it?
You don't really mention names of your employees in awards. You talk about your team, or you'd reference them like my dermal therapists or my beauty therapists or my aesthetic nurses. So we don't really give names in there either.
That's good feedback to know because sometimes when I'm applying for awards, I'm using specific examples to make sure that I'm not just saying I've done the thing. I'm like, this person did this, which created this result and helped these people. So in terms of the award applications, you want these people to just use general terms.
Yeah, just like professional terms, like therapists, like we said, practitioners. They can use their own name. A lot of the time when the question's like, why do you deserve to win this award, they will say, I'm Rachel and I've been in business for this many years. But again, they won't be seeing the business name. They're just getting the general name of the applicant.
Interesting. I think it's always cool to understand how these things work as well, because you do get so caught up in the moment and then you're trying to perfect your answers and you're going back and forth and you're overthinking it, and then you're like, you want to write from your heart, and then you're like, does that sound good enough? And you put it through ChatGPT. What are your thoughts about people applying and using ChatGPT or Claude to pull their answers together?
I think that as long as you take out the little that line, so we can't tell, and you change the American spelling back to English, because they put Z's in their words and you can tell that it's not like English, it's the American spelling. So no, I think as long as they edit it and they don't use it to create their whole application, because we're looking at data, we're looking at like real backed evidence.
We want to see their real side come out too. You know, if you use ChatGPT, it sounds very calculated sometimes, you know. So I think it's about, don't be scared, you know, like as we said before, there's there's going to be businesses that are going to enter that have done this loads and loads of times, that application process is really straightforward and simple for them. And then there's going to be newer therapists or newer businesses that are entering that are going to go, I have to have it worded perfectly to a T. It's not about that. It's about showing the heart and showing why you're passionate and what you love about the industry and what you're doing. And I think that's what the judges are actually going to look at as well.
And they can tell when you've put effort into it. Like I've seen some people who have applied for the podcast and they'll put like a one sentence. And I'm just like,
You're like, you don't really
and then you see someone else who really puts the time and energy in and they're like, this is how I believe that I can help your audience. Like, I would love to be able to speak on this. Like, just being able to come from that kind of perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
You can
It's like
tell.
when someone applies to work with you and if they do, you know, when you get an incredible resume though, like they've photocopied and they've got pictures and different coloured fonts and their picture on there as well, and you can see how much effort and how professional it looks. It's kind of the same thing. Like you can see how much they've poured into it and it makes you think, okay, they really care.
And the plan too is that from then, obviously, the judging process, we would really, again, probably one of the big things that we're wanting to do is give the applicants feedback. And I think that's just so important for them to be able to grow, for them then to go back and go, okay, if I didn't quite get my submission, if the judges were wanting to see it this year, I'm going to go back, I've got some feedback, now I know how to have another crack at it again next year, you know, and that's important because what we don't want either, and I have heard this a little bit from people, I had a couple of girls email across the other day to say that they'd done awards before, they'd never won, they'd entered 3 or 4 times and they've almost got award fatigue. And I think for us, it's making sure that whether they win or they don't win, there's that real feeling of it doesn't matter because I know that what I'm doing means something. And regardless of whether I win that award or I'm up there as a finalist or I've just applied, there's something in it for me. I'm learning, I'm growing every time that I do it. And I think that's really important to us.
That is the thing about awards. If you have this judging process, it's different experts, you're not getting any feedback, there's no way for you to actually improve and there's no incentive for you to want to try again.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then every time that you receiving that feedback, you can create a better application and it will give you more chance next time. But I think them understanding too that just because you don't win that time doesn't mean you're not good enough. Becoming a finalist is still an incredible honour as well. Yeah,
huge.
I want to know, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you made in the early days when applying for awards?
For myself, probably fluffing it up a little bit, where instead of putting like factual information, I'd be like, I'm Rachel and this is my dream career and I've been doing this for 8 years back then or something like that. And my salon's pink, all of that kind of fluffy stuff. And then I found as time went on and I refined my application process and how we created that, I would put more factual information because you only get like 300 to 500 word count.
Yes.
So you just want to make sure it's hitting the spot for the judges, what they're looking for.
What about you, Elke?
Yeah, so I was telling Rach this the other day that, of course, back when I had my clinics was good few years ago now, and of course we were applying for national awards probably fairly on in the process for them starting the awards. And of course we were actually applying via a coffee table book. So it wasn't an online submission. It was actually a beautifully presented book that we'd put pictures in and we'd write in, and so it was quite a different process
Like a
back
scrapbook.
then. Yes, literally. I actually loved it, I must admit, because we'd come back and we'd put it on the
See it
table
all.
and it was, something there for everybody to see.
That would actually probably be perfect for beauty people.
Yeah,
they're
we're so
visual.
visual, we're so visual. So it is really nice to sort of see. But yeah, it was really interesting. Like, again, a bit the same. Like I must admit back then, and again, as I said before, 10, 15 years ago, we were just so nervous to put anything out there that anyone might see that says, oh, your figures aren't quite where they should be, or they're, overinflated or whatever it was. So that always made me really hesitant to sort of put that sort of side of things in there. Put as much as you can into that submission. Whatever you've got, as you say, it does not have to be perfect, but put what you can in there to give yourself that best opportunity because that's what they're going to be looking for. So.
Do you guys plan on having like consistency with the judges for those categories over the years? Because the reason I ask this is if I was applying and let's say my first run was pretty darn average, but then I got the feedback and it was like, look, this is what you need to focus on. This would set you up a lot better for next year and maybe try this. Would I almost have the opportunity for that same judge to see my progress if I applied over 3 to 5 years, or is it completely different every time?
It will just depend, because I guess it will depend on their availability. When you upload to your past applications, stay up there. So if they did want to look over it quickly, they could look over the notes. Or I just feel like with the refining of the applications over the years, the new judge will still judge it fairly.
I think the plan, as you say, we'd love to think that most of those judges would stay. And I guess it would really only be of reason of if they couldn't for 1 year, or let's say they maybe opened a business here and it became a bit of a conflict of interest, then I guess maybe then we might have to relook at why or how. But yeah, if it's working well, why change it?
100%.
So
That's what we would like.
What does consistency looks like to you?
Just the same applications, the same judges,
same
like
level
you
of
said.
judging,
Keeping things the same, but also taking into account feedback from people that are entering and making little tweaks and refining over the years as well.
So when you were saying having those really fluffy applications, what did you specifically learn that you needed to focus on when you were talking about stats and facts?
Yeah, so different things. Talking about the process, not just the results, like how you do something, thinking outside of the box. So it might even be explaining how you reduce last minute cancellations or no-shows, or how you increase your rebooking rate, or how you've grown your team annually, and like what percentage that is. So data, we would make little graphs for our one, so you could actually see, like on a PDF, we'd make them
You
look
or
pretty.
Jesse?
Me and Jesse. I would give him the information, but he's good at all of that stuff. But we would make little graphs, and we would provide information that they didn't even ask for as well, just anything to make it a strong application. We would talk about our team, how many team members, because that's important, what their roles are. Like I have 1 manager, 2 coordinators, 5 dermal therapists, whatever it is. So you can see the different departments in the business and how it's run. So we can see the business health as well. So you could put, it's up to the person and what they're comfortable with, but you could put like your numbers in there if you do feel comfortable for that. You don't have to though. That's not like...
It depends on the category too.
Yeah,
Obviously
yes.
there is a director of the year, so they're going to need to talk a lot about the team and how they've built the growth and how they lead their team. Same with clinic of the year, or beauty salon of the year. I guess they're going to have some more evidence-based information for us to be able to set them apart essentially, I guess, from the next business.
Yeah.
So,
and you can see the business growth. So over the years when I first started, I probably had like a team of 4, and then now I've got a very big team of, it bounces between 18 and 19, so that you can see the business growth. And my applications were still up on the platform that you could go back and see past applications and put them together and be like, how
I want to
I've grown.
see those first ones.
Oh my goodness, they were not
I think
good.
I've still got the book somewhere.
Yeah, that would be lovely to see. I love that.
When you are thinking about a strong applicant, what kind of things need to go into the application that go above and beyond? Because obviously you're answering questions, but some people don't even answer the question. Like that's number one. Like making that so clear is just looking at the question, dissecting it. Are there examples? Is there proof? Can I do a step-by-step process? But outside of answering the questions, are there other things that can help someone come across as a stronger applicant?
Definitely. And that's something we did different as well, what Elke was saying before with the hints. So every single question has 5 hints. So it might be like, show us your standardized treatment protocols. What are your ethos and your philosophy? What's your niche? What's your treatment style? So a little bit of personal, and then again, the showing the business health as well. Like show us your year-on-year growth. Show us like your team growth. What do you do to support your team and for their development? Like what ongoing education do you organise? What does that look like? And even things like the process, like just say again, if you're in skin or you're in beauty, what does the process of your treatment look like? Like not just the results, but like what did they do? What was the process to get to the result? So yeah, just thinking outside of the box. But I think that because we've done the hints, that gives everyone clarity on how to answer the question. And we really wanted to support people and make it not as easy as possible, but not so they're very confused and they have no idea what to add into
I
the
hate
application.
vague questions.
Yes, yeah. We wanted to make it very clear.
So they're quite specific the way
Yeah.
that you've asked them.
And for every single category, they're different. So every award category is completely different. That's why it took 3 months. It took a long time. But no, I think that that's something that we'd really liked about our awards, and that's like our point of difference as well. And especially for people that have never entered before, they haven't entered the larger ones, they don't know what information to put in there. Also, any kind of like media, any industry involvement, any charity work, any studying they've done.
Awards they've won.
Yeah,
maybe too.
awards they've won. Anything that is exciting about their business.
So if I were to apply for the awards and then I found out I'm a finalist, what does that process look like from being a finalist to getting on to the awards night?
Okay, so the finalists will be announced on our socials, and then we will be reaching out to them, and we're wanting to plan some in-clinic experiences or in-business experiences where we visit to get a picture of the business itself. And for those that aren't applicable, that are more rural, we will be doing something like online virtual consultations so that we're able to speak with them as well.
Yeah, for where it applies. So for certain categories, I guess, essentially, we'd look at some of that.
Totally. It's not like you're going to get on a flight, go up to like some remote
Maybe.
We've got to be realistic
Maybe
about
for a
it.
holiday. But yeah, we'll be communicating with them so we can see a little bit more and know a little bit more about their business as well.
I think it just allows for a fairer way of finding that winner, essentially. You know,
I've got a really good question, which I know a lot of people have come to me about when it comes to the awards. How many finalists on average are you thinking per category? Because I know there's been other awards where you apply, you hear out you're a finalist, and then everyone that applied is almost a finalist for that category.
Well, it depends how many people apply. We won't have like 30.
Okay.
And
That's reassuring.
I think, do you know, Sammy, it's a really tricky question in a first year.
Yeah.
It's really hard to answer that, in all honesty, in a first year until we get a handle on how many we've got, all of those things. But it isn't going to be a case of let's put every single entrant up into that category. As much as we'd love to, we will find other ways to recognise those that maybe didn't quite make that finalist list. But I think it's got to be fair. If they are a step above the rest, then they are the ones that essentially should be up there
And
as
I guess
a finalist.
this is where your events come in, because that allows you to help them improve their business from different aspects so that if they were to apply again, they're more favourable because they've got the skills, they've got the knowledge, they hopefully go and implement that into their business.
And I think that, as I say, is, okay, we started with the awards, and that was obviously a big part of why we started the brand. But in the end, I think really what we became more excited about is that opportunity to do some more networking events and educational events. And I think it's the education that is not just a quick 10-minute education session. It's a proper, solid education session. And it could be anything when it comes to award feedback and how we actually look at maybe improving our awards for the next year. It could be an education on skin. Anything that's going to help support and promote businesses is effectively what we're also trying to bring in and establish too. And it's just what's needed. It's so needed out there. So,
and we're going to be a bit different because we're focused on like the business education. So like with that end of year financial event, that's not something that we've really seen been done before. And again, a lot of women, and with the economics at the moment, like society at the moment, everyone, what they're going through, they're wanting to talk to others, they're wanting support, they want to know how other businesses are doing things as well that maybe they weren't taught. So we're just bringing everyone together and trying to help support and educate as best as we can.
It's actually wild when you think about it, because a lot of these people who come through a beauty career, they either went the OG way, which is through TAFE or a college, and then maybe they work for someone else. I find that pathway, they actually do work for someone else a lot more likely to. But then you've also got, I've done a short course or something along the lines of that, and then they go open their own business. And so there is such a lack of education around how to actually manage clients, do that consultation, like all the technical side, because you don't get to troubleshoot in real time with someone who is an expert guiding you. But then on the other hand, no one teaches you about numbers. No one teaches you about building a reputable brand. Like, here's your logo from Canva and some pretty colors. So the opportunity to be able to do these events, I think is really important, because there's almost two things I'm seeing right now, especially with the clients I work with. There's really incredible people who have tried to do the best they can and they've kind of hit that roadblock and they need that guidance. And then there's the other side who they either do nothing or they use ChatGPT for everything. And so it's like it's all or nothing. And being able to have these touch points where you can support business owners on the journey, where you can actually bring different experts in who are credible, who do have a great reputation and solid advice, I think that will be so good, because you've already done the vetting. Everyone's traumatized. The amount of times I've had to like talk to a client and just be like, I'm not like every other coach who's probably done this and that in the past. Like, you've got to spend so much time, but you guys are a vetted organization, which makes it so much easier for people to choose.
Yeah. And I think, you know, again, we're obviously planning to have, you know, education come from all over Australia at different points, but we want to start here, because we've got so many great, clever business people here that really can impart a lot of knowledge, including yourself, Sammy, which will be great to have you at our next event. But, you know, I think let's look local first, because there is so much here that we can do, you know, and just to give everybody, as you say, the best opportunity. We do have some incredible businesses, and you made the point before that, you know, like I think, I don't know about you, Rach, but I know I got it. Well, I funnily enough, I probably fell into the industry a little bit. My mum was in it and I sort of just followed in her footsteps. But none of us are taught how to do business.
No.
We're taught how to make clients feel and look good. And that's essentially what we do. And a lot of us do a bloody good job of it. But I think what we don't know is exactly as you said, we don't know numbers. We don't know how to really understand. Well, you learn it. A lot of people do, but there's still a lot of people that don't really even understand a proper break even and how to make sure that their costs are, you know, all of those things. So I think it is really important to know that they've got access to that and they don't have to be scared to go and ask for that assistance either.
And you guys are doing it at a very affordable price point too. Realistically, the people who need the support the most often can't afford it. And the people who do have the experience, like, sometimes they can't afford to just do everything at a cheap price. So really where you're coming in is this beautiful space where people can get access to that knowledge, but it's not going to break the bank as well.
Yeah, definitely.
As I say, we've been in it, we've seen it, we've worked in all different aspects of it. And I think for now, it's not about, as you say, it sounds cliche, but it's not about the money for us. It's about ensuring that the businesses in Western Australia and the staff and the owners still continue to stay passionate. They love it and they feel super supported. And that's, I guess, what we're trying to do in amongst everything else we're trying to do.
Definitely.
So,
And we're trying to organise people that we're inspired by. So like at this next end of financial year event, the Profit and Planning Summit, we've got incredible speakers like yourself and Vicky from Glide Accounting. She's like an industry accountant, but she's also very broad, all different industries. She was also a lecturer at uni and then she created her own firm. She knows the industry inside and out. And she knows how she will explain how to prepare for things coming up, like putting away your taxes and your BAS and your super, instead of being like, oh my gosh, I've got like a huge bill that's just come in, preparing for that, making business less stressful essentially. And again, like you both have said, we don't learn that. We don't learn finances in beauty therapy or in dermal therapy. We don't learn how to manage a team. We don't learn even communication. So it's really important.
And leadership. Yeah. Leadership is such a huge one because most of the time people are burnt out, which is when they go, I need to hire someone. And then those reactive hires can obviously do some damage in the long run if you're not strategic about it.
Yeah, they can be unaligned and create cultural problems.
Yeah. And that's probably why there's a lot of sole traders.
Probably,
I actually do have this conversation. If there were some really incredible bosses, your staff wouldn't leave you.
Yeah.
No.
You know, it's always when there's some toxic workplace culture that people get that idea. It's like being in a relationship. If they nurture you, they love you, they look after you, why would you go look somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, from the business side of things, a lot of the business owners don't know how to create that for their team because you don't know what you don't know. So they don't know where to turn, or maybe they've done mentoring, but they're not mentoring them in those skills. And they're mentoring them in like business, like make money this way, upgrade, add this on, retail sales. But like for creating and building and nurturing like your team and your culture is the number one. because you won't, even if you know how to do upgrades in retail, that's not enough. The team is number one. And having your team long term, like some of our girls we've had for over 5 years, they know everything. Like they're the best caliber of, therapists out there because they've been with us for so long and they've been consistent. And then their learnings, their education has just compacted over time. And yeah, that's really important. Plus, it stops the business owner getting burnt out of, like you said, getting stuck in a cycle of another one's gone, we've got to rehire, we're desperate, grab her. And then you're investing and you're training and then they leave. And yeah, you want to kind of break out of that.
Amen. Just thinking about all the times where, like I've had a few employees and it's interesting. I do believe it really comes down to personality and then also how much time you invest into them.
Yes.
And aside from profit and planning, I think leadership and also just teaching, even sole traders, like how to actually delegate. I've had some epic, massive teams and then I've had some sole traders. And I think something that's become really apparent to me that is worth speaking into is the level of burnout.
Yeah.
And so even as a sole trader, you might be thinking, oh, I don't need to learn leadership and I don't need to have a team. But like, what if you could just delegate some of your social media?
Yeah,
What if you could delegate some of your admin to someone to help out? Like, it doesn't mean you have to go hire 19 staff members and then deal with all of those pressures, but just at least not putting that pressure on that you have to do everything yourself and pretty much sacrifice your health, your happiness and all your time to be a slave to business.
It becomes unenjoyable then, and that's not why you started out. Right?
Totally.
So, yeah.
When we look at winning an award or even becoming a finalist, how can we actually leverage that to the maximum potential? Because, man, I was always very skeptical about awards and it put me off applying. Hence why I've never applied for ABR. I probably won't apply to yours because I want to be involved in the back end. I love it. I love supporting you guys. But like for me, I've loved doing it for bowling. And maybe it's the emotional attachment to really believing in that business and like maybe not believing in myself here. Like it's actually been a huge level of imposter syndrome. Hence why I've like, oh, I'm not sure. But then of the awards we have won, my gosh, I'm like, I should have done this for everything.
Yeah.
You get, obviously in the newspaper is like usually a big one. You can put your prices up. You can go and podcast. You can talk to other people. Like it does get you noticed.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It kind of positions you as almost like an industry leader. It gets you known. Kind of like Jacinta that was a speaker at our panel for Sunsets. She's won so many awards and it's just boosted her career. Everyone knows who she is. She's on the map. She's here, there, everywhere. She's very connected now. You're making relationships with other business people that you wouldn't otherwise. You're making great friendships as well. But like you said, media kind of presentation opportunities for myself. Like I've had, features in magazines or like Spa and Clinic, Mocha Publishing, Professional Beauty, and I love them. You can keep them, have them on hand, as a little, they're like a trophy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like
clients.
Yeah.
It attracts the right staff members
It does.
too when they see that you're a business that's put yourself forward for awards.
That is very true.
It gets your name out there. It builds credibility as well, just lots of different opportunities. And yes, I find that since winning awards and kind of like strengthening our brand, more people want to work for you and the right kinds of people, the ones that are like high performers and they want to do a good job and they want to get in there and, they want to learn as much as possible.
I think for me too, going back, especially when I won Director of the Year again, long time ago now, but for me it was, sure, we got a little bit of publicity out of it and that kind of thing. But for me, it was just that element of a sense of, I think I'm on the right track. Like I didn't need to be up and have my face out there and all of those things. And everybody's different as to how they want to be perceived for that kind of win or whatever it is. But for me, it was just really like, it was a little bit of it's okay, I'm on the right track. Like I feel like I'm doing the right
good
things,
job.
And I'm doing a good job. And that for me was what it was all about. So again, everybody's, perception or what they want out of an award win is going to be different too, which I think is quite nice,
I think that the biggest one's probably you're doing it for yourself. You're trying to prove something.
Yeah.
So not in a bad way, in a way like I've built this, I think it's incredible, is it? Like I'm going to put myself out there and, hope for the best because I love it so much and I've put all my hard work and effort into it. And I think that's the original thing that you go in and all the rest is just the perks.
Well, I think having that beautiful trophy also too that
Yes.
sits up on the mantle, as when the
seen your
clients come
story.
in.
Love my trophies. Love them. It's like I don't know, it's like a little trophy that you can keep
There's lots of
forever.
different facets that
Yeah.
make it a great thing, essentially. So
Take me back to maybe a time where you applied and you didn't win. Did you cry? Did you feel like a failure? Was there a moment where you almost felt so vulnerable because you put yourself out there and like really tried, but it didn't work out? Because I feel like that's the thing people don't talk about. And how you keep going or find the motivation to pick yourself back up and not make it mean something about you as well, because it is so personal. You're putting yourself out there.
Yeah. For myself, the first 2 times that I applied, I didn't win anything. I didn't go home with anything. And it was quite costly because the outfit was even costly, and the makeup and the hair, and then the tickets and the flying over East as well. So it is sad going home with nothing. I didn't personally cry. Of course, you feel let down. And of course, if someone wins, and like I had been in the industry a long time and I had done all this with a small child, and I feel like I put my whole life into my work, and I had started my own business, and then a new person comes along and wins, like she's been in the industry a year, it hurts. But then again, I don't know what she put in her application. I probably put the fluffy, I have a pink clinic. I don't know.
Rachel also made the point of what she did is that she didn't win.
No.
And she went to the effort to actually call the company
Yes.
and say, hey, what do I need to do?
What do I- what
what
are
do I
you
have to
looking
do
for?
to increase my chances
Yeah.
for next year,
Because it's not
So-
impossible. You just need more information. And because it was very broad, I didn't know what they're looking for in the questions. So I'm making it up a bit to fill the 500 words. So I did call them, and then I was like, what exactly are you looking for in the answers? And then that helped a lot. And then just experience. And then when we won the first time, I thought, okay, we're on the right track, like what you said, Elka.
Yeah.
And then I just kept building it out from there. So you need to keep entering to experience that and to...
That is so true, because you get better at
Yeah,
writing it. And
of course.
also it's this beautiful reflection piece where, like, when I was doing our awards and then I was doing the Gina Reinhart Young Leader Award, I was like, whoa, sometimes we get so much imposter syndrome thinking we're not good enough for this, or why would they ever choose me? And there's someone else here. And you get in your head, like I know I do, it may not look like it with all the podcast studio and all the content, but like deep down when you're sitting there, you're like, am I even good at this? And then you start to like look for those pieces of feedback or those not necessarily achievements, but just things you've had to overcome. And when you look at all the shit you've been through, the hardships you've endured, the money you've invested, and then where you've gotten to or what you've built, I feel like that is almost kind of a gift within itself,
Yeah.
because how often do we actually stop, reflect at what we've done, and then
not
feel
enough, I
proud
don't
of
think.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We don't. And we all have imposter. I don't know about you, Elke, but I do. We all have imposter syndrome. I could, and
You have
it's weird.
perfectionist
You could
syndrome.
like, I know, you could like be doing great, and then you're like, oh, I'm great. I'm doing a good job. And then the next day, oh my gosh, I'm not doing a good enough job.
It's
like a day
literally
apart.
The difference between you ovulating and then like having your period.
Pretty much. But you're always going to feel like that, I think. And you can't let that get to you, because you are good enough. Everyone is. And the people winning just put themselves forward. That's it. That's the difference. The people that you know about, you know their business names, you know all about what they're achieving, that's just because they stepped up and they put themselves forwards. Otherwise, we don't know you if you're not, introducing yourself.
So true. Back to like podcasting. There's some incredible people who are not the main faces of the beauty industry that you see everywhere at every single speaking gig or conference, but their story and what
Yeah.
they've achieved is so powerful. And I feel like having a platform where, okay, let's look at who's doing really well and why and how does that work, and have a conversation around that. And then let's look at who's maybe doing an epic job, but they haven't been put in the spotlight, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, like everyone has value to offer in this world.
Definitely.
And it doesn't make you any more, any less. It's just some people have gone really hard to try make the most impact. And I started thinking of it like this: instead of going, I'm trying to get this award for social validation or whatever it was, because I could definitely say when I was younger, coming from country town, I'm like, I need to prove to everyone that
Yeah.
I'm not a failure. And I'm like, look at me now. But now I do it from a place of like, the more noise you can make, the more PR you can get, the more eyeballs, the more impact. And so you're not going to be quiet if you want to make an impact.
You've got to step forward. And that's what I did. And that's what everyone has done that you know about, essentially, that comes before you. And being rejected and losing is part of life. And it's the ones that bounce back that, you go on to win. And we lost the year before last, and I could have given up. And then I applied again and I won the whole ABIA. Like, I won Australian Clinic of the Year. And we're the third person in WA to ever have won that award in ABIA history. So, like, just because you lost, you could be up for a win. Like, you're not far off. So, yeah, it's all about ego. Don't let the ego take over. Rejection is normal, and it's when you bounce back, and how fast you bounce back, that's when you're closer to achieving what you want.
Someone said to me once that when it comes to rejection, sometimes you get a no, and it doesn't mean no forever. It might just mean not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you've got some things to work on, or maybe you've got a lesson to learn, or a cycle to break before you're ready. And I'm like, maybe there were some times where I probably wasn't the right person to be put in the spotlight because I was coming from a place of like anger and shame and frustration and needing that. And then at the times when you finally make peace with yourself and you stop trying so hard and you just go, okay, I've done my best. If someone else is going to see that, usually it does fall into place.
It was funny. I know when as I say, we won a couple of different awards along the way with the clinics and different things, but we, I think we went up for Salon of the Year maybe 4 years in a row.
Oof.
And we never won it. And I remember the last year I'd only just had my son, and 6 weeks later I was appearing at the awards. Still nice and bright-eyed, of course. And as I say, that was our last year. We didn't win it. But I didn't go away from that feeling like I hadn't achieved and I hadn't done what I wanted to do. I actually went away with that and with a sense of, do you know what, I didn't quite take it off, but we won other awards. And I know myself that my business is good. So I don't actually need to have someone else kind of go, you are amazing, you are the best, you are the, it's not to take any of that away. I think it's all so important. And again, it depends on what is important to that person. But I think for me, I just came away from that feeling that regardless of whether I'd won an award or not, it doesn't matter because what I've achieved, I'm happy with.
Absolutely. So. And the reflection of the process, like when you're applying, you're getting all your information together, especially over the last 12 months and seeing what you've done, because we don't stop to see all of our hard work and how far we've come, but like actually being intentional and sitting down and collecting all that information, you're like, we did a lot. We've done a lot, a year's worth of growth, and what you can, fit into that and how you can evolve is a lot, essentially. So I love looking back, and you give yourself a little pat on the back. And like Elke said, you don't need it for validation. You want it because it's the cherry on top of the hard work that you've achieved. So it doesn't mean that it's the end of the be all and end all, but it's really nice when you do win. It feels amazing.
I'm honestly like psyching myself out in my head because I've been nominated for this award, and I'm like, ooh, I find out next week if I'm a finalist. I'm like, if I'm a finalist, then it's 5 in WA, and I'm like, will I make it? And then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should announce it because what if I don't make it as a finalist? But then at the same time, the reason why I'm sharing this is because just sharing the fact that you're nominated, just sharing the fact that you're a finalist, it does still get eyeballs and you still do get recognition. And it is something you can leverage because after I got even announced that I was nominated, I had 2 newspapers contact me. Yeah. So don't be afraid to share the thing, even if you don't win, because podcasting opportunities, media opportunities, people reach out, it does still make a difference.
And I think from a national perspective, you're going up against so many people. And
my category is up to 40. I was like...
And probably that's the point I was sort of trying to make, is that it doesn't matter because you've been recognised.
Yeah.
So whether you win or you're not, you're recognised, And I think maybe again with us, and especially in this first year for the West Australian Awards, is that we want people to look at it and go, I'm going to give it a shot because it's the first year as well. And I'm in with a really good chance.
Absolutely.
Like I'm in with a great chance.
Is the best chance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's when it gets massive that it gets more challenging. So the first couple of years.
I think it's really cool as well because when you look at what you guys are building, it's not just awards, it is the community, it is the networking events, it is the education, and having something that well-rounded, there's a lot of pressure where people have high expectations, especially because it's beauty. But I think the thing to remember is it's your first time and you're already doing it at such a high level.
Yeah.
Like it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah.
Unless one of you leaves, then it's going to...
No, we're united.
We've all known each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
Like Elke, and I've known Elke, I would have been like 20 when I was watching you speak with Maria for InSkin. So like I've known
making
Elke
me feel old.
a long. No, I'm old too, but it's been a long time, a long journey. And same with like Laura. Laura's, you know, since she's been in Western Australia and she's built her business from the ground up, we all have known each other. We've been in awards together. Like I think that she mentored me years ago, like
I think
7 years
I think
ago.
we balance each other quite
Yeah.
nicely, don't we?
We know
as you
each
say,
other
We've all
and-
got a skill and we're bringing it together and hopefully can create something for the rest of, you know, the West Australian community to
come together.
Come together. And
I think it's good, and I think that's why everything's done so well so far.
Okay, so all that stuff aside about awards, I'm going to get to the juicy stuff because I know this is what everyone actually cares about. What is the awards night going to look like? Right.
we're very excited to announce it is at the Ritz-Carlton. So we're going to have it at a beautiful hotel, which will be fantastic. And obviously we're just finalising. In fact, I think we've put ticket prices up. So they've just become available now. So they are actually on the website and we'll start promoting that over the next few weeks. I guess we essentially just wanted to get the awards live and they are up. So we're happy that that's sort of done now. But yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be a fantastic night. Again, whether you're nominated or you're not nominated, anybody is welcome to attend. Anyone from the industry.
Expecting?
What's the max? Was it 300?
I think we can take about 300
yeah,
in the room.
that's the max. So hopefully a lot of people, and like Sunsets, people want to be involved and we want them there. We want the industry to come together and have this incredible night.
Yeah, sponsors, winners, nominees,
Teams.
just people that want to be involved essentially to come along. And whilst the awards are obviously really important, we want to make sure that it's fun too. Yeah. There's going to be a bit of dancing and a bit of celebrating and,
No TikTok
you know,
dances.
no
TikTok
TikToks.
dancing.
No TikToks.
No TikToks, just real dancing.
Then again, we can't stop that if
But no, we want it to be a fun night. So we'll do the awards. We will have like are we going to do it like a 3-course meal?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the sit down. But then we want it to be, you know, engaging and to get people up and to have fun. It's going to be fun.
Man, when I went to the AHA Awards we won Theme Venue of the Year for Wild West Bowling, I'd just been to ABIA maybe like 3 weeks prior or 4. And it was so different. Like it was the biggest room in Crown, but everyone spoke. The entire awards, like you've got Monica from 9 News trying to MC and quieten everyone down. No one stops talking.
Yeah.
And you go to the ABIA and it's just like
quiet.
It's like you can feel the tension in the room. And then I think because hospitality don't get weekends off ever, and it was a Monday night, they were just getting smashed. And so I've seen so many different ways of awards. I'm really looking forward to your one because I know you guys are all at that level where you do put so much intention and thought into it. And it's a really cool thing. Like I'm looking forward to the not the sunset session. Oh my gosh, the Profit and Planning Summit. What can we expect there? How many people are you expecting? What's the vibe? How do we get tickets?
I think it was initially going to be 30 people, but we've opened it up to a maximum of 60. So it's more of a small, intimate event compared to Sunsets.
Yeah.
And then that's available online now as well. And we've just started promoting that on our socials. So ticket sales are now, and it's on June 17th. So it's coming up.
Okay, so who have we got? I've got me talking about all things, not the actual numbers side, but how to actually increase your prices without losing all your clients. And then what does it look like to build the brand that can have the high prices and people want to pay them. You've got Vicky from
Vicky,
Glad Accounting.
Yeah, she's going to be talking about planning, end of financial year planning, and in general, like how to run a profitable business instead of letting all of your overheads, you know, get you behind, how to kind of plan ahead and come out of that essentially and have a healthy business.
Yeah.
And then Bree from Now Socials Co.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Love
so
Brie.
she's fantastic. She's really taking off in the industry. She was an influencer and then she started her social business and then now she's branching out and she's got her own commercial space. So she's going to come and teach everyone the importance of like branding and socials and content essentially, and again, how to plan that out and to speak a bit about her services.
I think it was just perfect timing really coming into the new financial year. And I think, as we said before, with everything that's sort of going on out in the world at the moment, everybody's a little bit nervous or a little bit hesitant to see how things are going to go. And, so I guess this is just going to give a little bit of, information and assistance with how to kind of, move into 2027 financial year in the right way, I guess, so.
Absolutely. You know what's funny? Nick and I were walking down Subiaco, like Rockaby Road the other day. And it was packed, like restaurants, cafe, like everyone's spending money. I think food is where the money's being spent at the moment. Like we just got to get it back into like the beauty.
When
but
the stress comes, the food.
Guys, I think we're going to have to like open up like little food things in the sun.
We might have to. A little Yochi. Yochi's doing really good.
Just coffees. Good coffees.
Going to do coffee.
You're allowed to have it after your appointment.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
I've loved having you guys on. It's been amazing to get some insight. And obviously, I've tested you a little bit, but you guys have done really, really well. Is there any last words of wisdom or advice that you want to share before we wrap up the episode?
Yeah, look, I would just say if you're not sure about entering the awards, some of you will be, yep, I'm in, I'm ready, and that's great. But if you're not sure, don't be scared. We are here to support you. The email is open, and if you do have any questions, by all means, we've already had some questions that have come through, so we're here to support you for sure. But what I will say too is that in the end, if we want to make sure that West Australian continues this, then come and support the events, because that too is really important. There's no point in 1 year, first year we get it off the ground and then all of a sudden maybe we don't quite get things ticking over as well as the next year. I think it's really important if you want to have those events, if you want to have the education and the support and the awards, make sure that you get involved and have as many friends get involved too.
And I think everyone's needing it right now with like the state of the world and everything. It's good to come together and have that support, especially for women.
Yeah.
And going through harder times, business being a bit slower as well. So I think that this next event couldn't have come at a better time. We hope to see everyone there.
It's going to be epic. I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully I don't stuff up your Love Beauty skincare.
No, you better not. LB. Just say LB. That's easy.
Love beauty. Love beauty. Love skin. Love beauty. Skin inspired.
A lot of people call it love skin.
Mine's easy.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. We have some incredible events coming up at WASSABA. So if you are keen on attending, applying for the awards or getting involved, please make sure you check out the link in the show notes because we have all the info there. Thank you so much, Rachel and Elke, for joining me today and giving up your Mother's Day morning. Hopefully you can enjoy it with everyone else. I mean, unless this is more fun.
Well, the kids aren't.
We've had a great time.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.